nomination. Thank you, Attorney General Herring, not just for what you're doing, but for what you stand for, and for proving that elections matter and the way you do it. So thank you, and thanks for being here today. I want to thank Brian Porter, too, for his kind words, but also for being a resource and being available to help us make the law better. So thank you for what you're doing. Brian not only, go ahead, give him applause. Brian not only represents the city, works for the city of Alexandria, but he also represents the Virginia Commonwealth's Attorney Association in Richmond, sometimes under tough circumstances, trying to cover the courts committees and making sure their views are well represented. I also was going to call your attention to our recognition board with all of our donors, all of our volunteers, and has a really nice colored picture of you on it, General Herring. And I want to thank Sam Bosch, my legislative aide. He worked so hard on it. His car was towed this morning with it in it. Yes, but we're hoping that the Attorney General can have it with the Virginia towing board. So we're hoping for that. Because I can't name everyone individually, but I'm honored that there's so many notable supporters here. I did want to introduce a few. I wanted to introduce my good friend Kip Malinoski, the chair of the Army. Alex Kirkland from the Lee District Democratic Committee is here. Kate Spears from the Mount Vernon District Democratic Committee. And my long-time friend Margot Horner, the chair of the 8th District. Mark already introduced Barbara Favola, but I can't say that Northern Virginia could have a better partner and advocate than Senator Barbara Favola. Delegate Rob Krupico is here. I'm not sure if he's still here, but I think it's appropriate that we acknowledge his service and commitment to this community. And for those who don't know, on June 9th, there's some voting going on, some primaries. I don't think the mayoral candidates are here, but we do have the 45th District House candidates, several of them here. We've got Larry Altenberg, Craig Pfeiffer, I saw Clarence Hahn come in. In the back, Julie Jakovic. They're going to be working hard to meet you over the next however many days, and they know exactly how many. How many? 38 days. So take time to meet them while you're here today. I'm also really honored that from Fairfax County, Sheriff Case Stacy Kincaid is here. From the school board, Il Young Moon had come earlier, at large member of the school board, and I wanted to call your attention, those from Fairfax, that on May 26th at Fairfax High School, there'll be a contest for who will be the at-large members of the school board, and I'm supporting Il Young Moon, Ted Velkoff, and Ryan McElveen, so I hope you'll support them. Also, I'm really flattered that the president of the Fairfax School Board, and my good friend, Tammy Koufax, is here. Past, current, and future members of the Alexandria City Council are here. We've got a new candidate, Willie Bailey. Willie's going to make a great addition to our Democratic slate and to the City Council. We've got Council Member Tim Levain, Councilwoman Del Pepper, Councilmember Justin Wilson had to leave early. I don't know if Paul's here, but Justin was here. And I also wanted to thank again, let me see if I have anyone else who I've written down on here. I did also want to acknowledge some other party leaders. Matt Brown from the Arlington Young Democrats. Alita Black, who's the co-founder of Ready for Hillary.
Yeah!
Alita, I think you got everyone ready. So, I wanted to talk just a little bit about the General Assembly and about what I've been able to accomplish with your help. 12 years ago, you gave a chance, you gave me a chance, and over that time and over the past 4 years, I'm proud of the accomplishments, the meaningful accomplishments we've been able to make together. We were able to repeal the hybrid tax, we were able to make it easier to vote absentee, and to see that more of those absentee votes are fairly counted. We're able to expand Medicaid for immigrant mothers. We're able to combat notarial fraud, legal fraud in the Latino community, and bring fairness to the tax refund policy process. We secured more funding for forensic scientists to analyze rape kits. Senator Fabola's done a lot of work on sexual assault on campuses, but we've got to track down these serial predators, and that's one way we can. But there's more to do. We've got to establish universal background checks before people purchase guns, and we've got to keep those guns away from young children. I'm committed to doing the work that needs to be done to reform our marijuana laws and to establish renewable energy as a real priority in Virginia. I'm running for re-election, and I need your help again. The stakes are high. As the Attorney General mentioned, the Senate is divided. We have 21 Republicans and 19 Democrats, and a Democratic majority is within reach. And a Democratic majority makes a difference. It stands for an increased minimum wage, a cleaner environment, equality for all Virginians, and real investments in education, from pre-K to K through 12 to college. With your help, we're going to give a boost to our candidates. And they're in Chesterfield, they're in Loudoun, they're in Prince William, they're in Virginia Beach, and they're across this Commonwealth. And when Democrats stick together, we're going to elect more Democrats. Over the last 12 years, there's been one question that I get more than any other, and the candidates in the 45th district may get it, those that are the one that's successful, which is, how can you stand to go down there? And the reason I can stand to go down there is because I know that there's a microphone that I can grab to speak up for your views and be your voice. And it's about public service, and to me, public service is about building consensus. That's with allies from different regions, from different ideologies, but our job is to get things done. And I've worked to translate our hopes, our values, and our needs into meaningful legislation that makes a difference. It's about improving the lives of our neighbors, and that's what being a legislator is all about. When I was sworn into the General Assembly 12 years ago, my aunt gave me a card, and I keep it behind my desk in Richmond. And I didn't think much of it at the time, but it says, "Don't forget the little guy." And I try not to forget the little guy. And to me, that means the asbestos workers who risk their lives when they're not provided with adequate safety information. It means a human trafficking victim from our district. It means Adrian, an ex-offender who I had lunch with the other day, who is working his hardest to get by, just to get by. It means the people that I visited in solitary confinement in Virginia's prisons, who are now being mainstreamed out of solitary confinement. And it means the 400,000 Virginians who are being denied health care through Medicaid expansion. If I'm returned to the Senate for another 4 years, I'm not going to forget that little guy. And, you know, as a Virginia politician, I think we're required, I think it's correct that we're required to quote Jefferson every now and again, and I probably do it more than my fair share with this one quote, but I think it's really meaningful and it guides a lot of what I do. And Jefferson said, and it's etched in his memorial on one of the walls, it says, "I'm not an advocate for frequent changes in laws and constitutions, but laws and institutions must go hand in hand with the progress of the human mind. As that becomes more developed, more enlightened, and with the change of circumstances, Institutions must advance also to keep pace with the times. And that to me relates to my aunt's note, who she called the little guy, Jefferson might have called the disenfranchised. And to me, Jefferson was talking to those that were slaves, to those that were immigrants, to those that were suffragettes, to those that were Native Americans, to those that were disabled, and to LGBT people. And with your support, I will be able to work for those people. With your contributions and your commitment, we're going to keep Virginia moving forward.